أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تصل على أحد منهم مات أبدا ولا تقم على قبره إنهم كفروا بالله ورسوله وماتوا وهم فاسقون صدق الله العظيم. The background of verse 84 of Surah At-Tawbah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when the leader of the hypocrites, Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul, the leader of the hypocrites, the munafiqun, when he passed away, when he died, his son, whose name was also Abdullah, who was a mu'min. His son Abdullah was a true mu'min, he was a true believer. So he requested Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam for one to give his shawl so that he can enshroud and do the kafan of Abdullah bin Ubay, the leader of the munafiqun, in the shawl of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And because Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was Rahim, Kareem, Shafiq, he was very kind and generous. And what does it mean that an individual is a munafiq, he's a hypocrite? That apparently he shows that he's a believer. So he sallallahu alayhi wasallam performs salatul janazah upon him as well. Now in the previous ayat, it was revealed, istaghfir lahum aw la tastaghfir lahum. That whether you seek forgiveness for them or do not seek forgiveness for these munafiqun and hypocrites, who Allah Ta'ala had given the ilm, the knowledge to Rasulullah that such and such individuals are the munafiqun, hypocrites. However, apparently they are also mixing with the believers, they're also performing salah and whatnot, so they have to be treated as such. Okay, so they're treated as such. But in the case of Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul, there were many instances where he had even expressed such words which gave off that he was a hypocrite. So hence when Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam went to perform the janazah of Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul, the leader of the munafiqun, Umar radiallahu anhu, he stopped Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Ya Rasulullah, we both know that this individual is a hypocrite, is a munafiq. Why are you doing so? And you've been prevented from it. Meaning, Umar radiallahu anhu, he was understanding the ayah of istaghfir lahum aw la tastaghfir lahum. That whether you seek forgiveness for them or don't seek forgiveness for them. إن تستغفر لهم 70 مرة فلن يغفر الله لهم. That even if 70 times you seek for Allah Ta'ala will still never forgive them, as these ayat that we did before. So from this, Umar is saying that the point of Salatul Janazah is istighfar. The ayah is telling us that there's no need to, it's the same whether you do it or don't do it. So then why perform Salatul Janazah on this individual? Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was considering another angle, that this man does have family members. Some of these family members are believers, so to appease their hearts, for example. Then there are other community members who will see that how Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he treats people. So even in that case, some of them would see this, maybe they'll be attracted towards Iman. And the third, that propagandists will not take a chance over here. That look, this person, because apparently the munafiq is also showing that he's a mu'min, he's a believer. So the other people who want to create propaganda, oh, Muhammad doesn't care for his own people, he doesn't care for his own followers. So to curb that kind of fitna and that issue as well, Rasulullah went ahead and performed salah. When he finished from salah, then the ayat were revealed that لا تصلي على أحد, this ayat 84 of Surah At-Tawbah, that O Rasul of Allah, do not perform Salatul Janazah upon any such munafiq. Now this applies to whom? To Rasulullah. Why? Because he was given the knowledge of hypocrites. No one Muslim after that can say, except those that were also, for example, Hudayfa radiallahu anhu, he was given the knowledge of that Sahibul Sir. Any other community, any other person cannot say such and such person, munafiq, he's a hypocrite, we won't perform salah on him. That doesn't work for anyone else. Because Rasulullah himself was given the knowledge, who is who? who is the status of each person's iman in their heart. Therefore, that applies to him sallallahu alaihi wasallam only. So لا تصلي على أحد منهم مات أبدا. Do not ever perform salah upon these individuals. Now, what's the hikmah over here? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want? That the believing community, those that are believers, for the strength of their heart, that there is a difference between those that are munafiqun and those that are not. So that everyone is not measured in the same way. That there is a perk, there is a benefit, tangible benefit for being a believer versus being a munafiq and hypocrite, and to sift between these individuals as well. As far as the issue of Rasulullah giving his shawl mubarak to Abdullah bin Ubay, this was one because his son had asked, so to appease the heart, who was a true believer. Abdullah, the son of Abdullah bin Ubay, he was a true believer. Second was that at the time of Badr, years before, at the time of Badr, when the uncle of Rasulullah Abbas, at that time Abbas anhu, he was not anhu at that time, he came with the armies of the mushrikun. So when he was captured, he didn't have any shawl to cover himself at the time, when he was captured as a POW. So at that time Rasulullah, when he saw the sight of his, so he asked someone to cover him. He was a very large man, and the only one whose shawl fit him at the time was the leader of the munafiqun, Abdullah bin Ubay, who had given it to him at that time. So to reciprocate that favor, so that he doesn't have any favor upon him, to reciprocate that favor, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave that. So there's no ihsan, so to say, that's left upon him. What do we learn from this? Well, that although it's the Mubarak shawl of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this Mubarak shawl didn't do any good to the munafiq. Things of barakah and tabarrukat, these are beneficial, definitely, if you have the conditions for it. If the fara'id and the arkan and the conditions are not there, here the basic condition being iman, if that's not there, then all the things that you sprinkle on top is not going to help. Merely sprinkling something on top doesn't make something into a meal. You need to have the right ingredients first, right? If the main ingredient is not there, starting with iman, thereafter the fara'id and wajibat, right, and staying away from munkarat and wrongs and haram, etc., then the extras, the barakat, then all of that is very beneficial. But if someone says, I'm not going to perform my fara'id, but after that I will take some wali, some hazrat topi and put that on, that will help me go through my life, that's not going to happen. So a person needs to work towards that. He needs to have the necessities. وَلَا تُصَلِّ عَلَىٰ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ مَاتَ أَبَدًا وَلَا تَقُمْ عَلَىٰ قَبْرِهِ. Do not even engage in helping in their defn, in their burial, etc., etc. These are not things, because such people, they are munafiqun, they have disbelief. إِنَّهُمْ كَفَرُوا بِاللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَمَاتُوا وَهُمْ فَاسِقُونَ. They have disbelieved and rejected Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Rasul, yani iman upon them. وَمَاتُوا, and they passed away in this condition that they were fasiq and they were ungodly. We make dua that Allah Ta'ala gives us understanding of the Quran Kareem. Subhanallah.